Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome. We are...
Why are you looking over there?
Because I thought there was some people coming.
Oh.
So we're very high up in the air.
We are. I'm scared of heights, so I am not comfortable.
If you could see what she is accomplishing, she's literally sitting on the edge of an overlook that falls to your face.
Yeah, I would die. So I just want to say thank you everyone for supporting us. If this is the last time that we're seen, look after my husband. Keep an eye on him.
Keep an eye on him. Yes, dear.
I don't do heights. You can tell by the trees. Like, we're kind of high. I'm like really high. and over there, because you can't, we're so high in the mountains that it's misty. You know, it's like we're like, you know when you see mountains and you see like that fog around it. So we're in the fog bit.
You can kind of see that over here, but the sun keeps piercing through every now and again.
But it is misty there where you walk up here.
So we're actually in Gambrel State Park. Gambrel State Park.
We're taking a gamble, that's for sure.
And it's not a gamble, it's Gambrel. Anyway, we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we'll go to no lengths to read and hear.
Right.
So we're reading from
we could have just sat at home and read. We didn't even have to.
Where are we? She said we're going to do a quick reading, and now she's rambling.
Canto 3, Chapter 27, Text 22, Chapters Understanding Material Nature.
Jai.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Actually, you can see more fog coming in. It was very beautiful to begin with. I'll have Baba edit in the scene, because it's a good scene.
Because we've got such good internet connection, so I'll edit in everything.
The internet is not required for the edit.
Alright, text 22. This devotional service has to be performed strongly, in perfect knowledge and with transcendental vision. One must be strongly renounced and must engage in austerity and perform mystic yoga in order to be firmly fixed in self-absorption. Yeah, austerity, like perching on the edge of a cliff, edge of a mountain. Purport. Devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be performed blindly due to material, emotional, mental concoction. It is superficially mentioned here that one has to perform devotional service in full knowledge by visualizing the absolute truth. We can understand about the absolute truth by evolving transcendental knowledge, and the result of such transcendental knowledge will be manifested by renunciation. That renunciation is not temporary or artificial, but is very strong. It is said that development of Krishna consciousness is exhibited by proportionate material detachment or vairagya. If one does not separate himself from material enjoyment, it is to be understood that he is not advancing in Krishna consciousness. Renunciation in Krishna consciousness is so strong that it cannot be deviated by any attractive illusion. One has to perform devotional service in full tapasya austerity. One should fast on the 2 Ekadashi days, which fall on the 11th day of the waxing and waning moon, and on the days of Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many such fasting days. Yogena means by controlling the senses and mind. Yoga Indriya Samyama. Yogena implies that one is seriously absorbed in the self and is able by development of knowledge to understand his constitutional position in relationship with the super self. In this way, one becomes fixed in devotional service and his faith cannot be shaken by any material allurement. I was thinking it's like a good test, like we were saying, I think last time we read yesterday, that when we first come, it's like comparing it to if you're in a relationship and it's the romance and it's very alluring and pulls you in, you know, the connection is very strong, and then relationship after a while, you know, it just gets a bit bland and like you have to work at it to make it. No, I mean, some people that it
sounds like you're speaking from personal experience.
I'm just speaking for the general public.
Okay.
So in the same way in Krishna consciousness, when we first take to it, there's that, sometimes you call the newbies like, oh, they're fanatic or whatever, but you're really absorbed, and you get such a juice and taste from, I'm going to go to the kirtan night, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And as you continue on the path, and you're in for the long haul, as it were, then that's when we have to really tighten up the sadhana, the hearing and the chanting, because if we loosen the grip, as it were, on the spiritual energy, it just takes a little bit of loosening, and material energy is so subtle. She comes in, and then you're doing things that you were kind of doing before, if that makes sense, and you're kind of interested in it, and it's okay. Wow, there's mist coming all over us, by the way.
Yeah, it's coming right over the mountain.
Yeah, that's quite.
That's pretty cool. This isn't special effects, everyone. This is reality right here. It's a reality show. Okay.
Oh my God, there's things in the tree. Look at this.
It's those pine cones. It's the pine cones. Oh my God, she's seeing pine cones again, and it's mesmerized. I didn't know they grew in trees. Yeah, it's actually, we're surrounded by pine trees, full of pine cones. We'll put that as a picture also.
No, we won't. We've already done that. Everyone can Google it. So anyway, that's the point that has been made here, that we can test our attachment, as it were, to Krishna consciousness through our detachment. And you don't have to do it falsely.
Detachment from what?
Material energy.
Thank you.
And you don't have to do it falsely. That's what I understand also from Srila Prabhupada. As you go on in this process, you'll naturally detach. So don't think, oh my God, I'll give up this, I'll give up that. Oh, I like going out with these people, I like doing that. My advice is just add the process to your life as much as you can. You don't have to compare to other people, I've got to do this or they do that. And you'll see naturally it just immunizes you against the grip of the material energy. You don't have to be false and, like I said, copying someone else. Everyone goes at their own pace. So,
famous story, Prabhupada said, you don't have to give anything up, you just need to add one thing, and that one thing is Krishna. Add the one in front of many zeros. Also, I found it interesting, I made some notes that Prabhupada translates yogena by mystic yoga, yet in the purport he mentions yogena by controlling the senses and mind, and more or less refers to it as Krishna consciousness. So I found it a curiosity why I would say mystic yoga instead of bhakti yoga, or just the process of yoga. But anyway, all these things can be studied and understood more in depth, but it's a very wonderful and powerful verse, purport. Should we read the next one? I think the sun is going to burst through behind us here any moment. You can see it's
I can feel warmth on my back.
It's burning through that mist. Like Prabhupada says, in the morning time, the sun burns through the mist. You can see how it's lighting up and coming from over here. Any moment, it's just going to be like booyaka.
You can.
You're going to hardly be able to see us because the sun will end.
You can't see us now. Jeepers.
So, next verse, text 23. The influence of material nature has covered the living entity, and thus it is as if the living entity were always in a blazing fire. Like right now. But by the process of seriously discharging devotional service, this influence can be removed, just as wooden sticks which cause a fire are themselves consumed by it. Oh, I love it. So poetic, so beautiful. Purport. Fire is conserved in wooden sticks, and when circumstances are favorable, the fire is ignited. But the wooden sticks, which are the cause of the fire, are also consumed by the fire if it is properly dealt with. Similarly, the living entity's conditional life of material existence is due to his desire to lord it over material nature, and due to his envy of the Supreme Lord. Thus, his main diseases, plural, are that he wants to be one with the Supreme Lord, or he wants to become the Lord of material nature. The karmis try to utilize the resources of material nature and thus become its lord and enjoy sense gratification. And the jnanis, the salvationists, who have become frustrated in enjoying the material resources, wanted to become one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead or merge into the impersonal effulgence. So Prabhupada has taken these two desires which are innate within the living entity, and he has explained how they've more or less existed from time immemorial, and how they exist by the practice of either through karma yoga or through jnana yoga. So the karmis, they're just looking to become lords of the material nature. The jnanis, they've become fed up with trying to become the lords, so they want to lords of material nature. They don't want to enjoy material nature anymore. They want to escape it, and their idea of escaping is to merge into the Supreme. These two diseases are due to material contamination. Material contamination can be consumed by devotional service, because in devotional service these two diseases, namely the desire to lord it over the material nature and the desire to become one with the Supreme Lord, are absent. Therefore, the cause of material existence is at once consumed by the careful discharge of devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so basically devotional service can nullify these two diseases or desires because it's absent. These things are absent in devotional service. Okay, read on, because I think the next paragraph is really powerful.
Okay, next paragraph. A devotee in full Krishna consciousness appears superficially to be a great karmi, always working, but the inner significance of the devotee's activities is that they are meant for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. This is called bhakti or devotional service. Arjuna was apparently a fighter, but when by his fighting he satisfied the senses of Lord Krishna, he became a devotee. Since a devotee always engages in philosophical research to understand the Supreme Person as he is, his activities may thus appear to be like those of a mental speculator. But actually he's trying to understand the spiritual nature and transcendental activities. Thus, although the tendency for philosophical speculation exists, the material effects of fruitive activities and empiric speculation do not, because this activity is meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Jai. Comments, thoughts?
Yeah, it just seems that we can be side by side with our work colleagues or our, fellow human beings.
Schoolmates.
But the difference is the consciousness and what we're trying to understand, why we're doing it, who we're doing it for. So it's not that someone, why are you going into higher education, or you work in an office 9 to 5. It doesn't matter. It's why we're doing it and what it's maintaining, what it's the end goal of it. That's what matters. That's what differentiates between the, how does it put it here? Does it say karmi? No.
Yeah, the karmi and the jnanis.
The karmi. So the material, somebody materially absorbed or whatever like that. Yeah, it's interesting to me because when I was studying, when I was working, some of the ladies that over the years, when you make friends with people like who live in the ashram, it was always you work out there. You're like, what are you talking about? Like what? And I was thinking, I didn't see any difference between me and them. I didn't think I was a different devotee than them, as it were. When I was at the temple, I would, by the time I got to the office, I would have finished all my rounds. I would have done a bit of reading on the tube, going up there. Sometimes I'd bring my lunch. Sometimes I'd go to the Govindas at lunchtime. Like, I'd listen to, the way I worked, I'd listen to stuff, to service, whatever, at work. But it was interesting. It was like, I don't feel I'm them out there. I think I'm one of you. But the irony is, if you don't have the proper understanding, then those who are on the inside think, now you're one of them. But I'm not, and you don't know where I'm at, you know? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Without bigging myself up unnecessarily.
Yeah, don't big yourself up or anything.
I didn't mean it.
No, I got it. It makes a lot of sense, and it's true. It's very true. But don't big yourself up anyway.
I ain't bigging myself up.
So, yeah, this is beautiful. I think this is really beautiful about how... Now, I'm trying to help to connect the analogy of the two sticks from which the fire is ignited, because the fire is inside of the sticks already, but the right conditions allow the sticks to pull the fire out of themselves, and they become consumed in it. And so the principle is that this tendency due to want to lord it over the material nature and to merge into the Lord are there present in the living entity. But when the living entity engages those propensities or tendencies for the service of the Lord and pleasing the senses of the Lord, as Prabhupada says here, a karmi or a devotee may look like, he says, a great karmi, a great performer of karmic activities, because he's always working. But the inner significance of the devotee's activities is that they're always meant for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, and that's what Bhava Bhakti is saying. So although one can work very hard, but what is the goal and purpose and point of your hard work? Is it just simply to try to manipulate the material energy so that you can be the enjoyer, so that you can experience happiness or sense gratification? Okay, that's the majority of people, let's be honest. But what if I was, as you were saying, Bhava Bhakti, as you were saying, but if you're going to work and your work has a higher purpose and your life has a higher purpose, aligned with divinity, aligned with the service of God, then you feel a deeper sense of satisfaction, and the point and the goal is not necessarily just working to please myself. Maybe you're doing work to make money, to give some donation, to sponsor something, to or to engage your hard-earned Lakshmi in for a higher purpose. Or maybe you're learning skills at school or in the workplace that can be used and engaged in the service. Of course, you were, working in a specific place, and I know, you were spending so much time at work using all of their facilities to facilitate devotional service. But even if you can't do all of that, you can still go to work and be an ambassador of Krishna, of the spiritual master, of Srila Prabhupada, of the institution, by just setting a wonderful example of being a good person. And your consciousness and your meditation is that I am a representative, so therefore I have to be on time, I have to dress nicely, I have to speak nicely, I have to treat each person there as a spirit soul, and you will make spiritual advancement beyond the shadow of a doubt. It's all about the consciousness with which you do something. But most people are just simply consumed with performing their activities every day, working hard just to basically earn money so that they can enjoy. Okay, we're also here, we've come to this beautiful place, which, by the way, all you can see now is a bunch of fog. Unfortunately, we're sorry. There's a little bit up here you can see breaking through. But we came up here to, see the beautiful view and try to remember also Krishna's amazing divinity, how he's created this place, how alluring and captivating it is. But look what we're doing while we're here. We're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, so it's really, really wonderful and powerful, I think. Yes. Okay. Now, do we want to try to read one more, or are you in a space where you're ready to stop?
I might have to get up off this rock.
Off this rock, okay. All right, I think we're going to rock.
We'll rock out of here.
Okay. So thank you all very much. Please read the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you don't have a copy, let us know. We'll try to get you one before the Purnima, the full moon in September, which is known as Bhadra Purnima. We'd be happy to try to sort one out for you. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, glories to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.